Look, I'd love to jump into it and cover all the great stuff that you talk about and the new book. A bunch of people texted me today and said, "Oh, is that the guy from The Secret? Is that guy from The Secret?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And I'd love it if we could just talk about that, right out the gate, because a lot of people know you from being in this movie that was a huge blockbuster 10, 15 years ago, maybe.
Right.
And, it was something I think the world really hadn't seen. And it put this idea into people's minds that, maybe your power of your thought was stronger than people believed it was. But I remember the last time you were here, you said, "Brian, since the movie was so short, they didn't actually understand everything I was saying, because you can't just think of the dream house and have it, or think of the business you want and have it, or think of the relationship. You've got to do more deep work." And I think that's deep work on your subconscious. But tell me, what do people get right about the movie The Secret, and what do they get wrong about the movie The Secret?
Well, it's a great place to start. I love the movie. I'd be telling people to watch it whether I was in it or not. It had a profound effect on the planet and still is. It's traveling around the world and awakening people. What it's doing right and what people are getting right is the idea that your thoughts create. That's powerful. Most people don't even know that. Most people lead lives, as Thoreau said, of quiet desperation. And so they're living to their grave as a victim. They don't know that they have power. They don't know that they have choice. They don't know that they can set an intention and actually move in the direction of it, which is the basics of the law of attraction. But the movie didn't completely explain everything, and I always defend it. It's like it's a freaking movie. It wasn't a graduate course. This wasn't the tutorial on how to create your own reality. It introduced a principle, and that's all it did. So if people got the principle, and most people did, wonderful. The movie succeeded and still is succeeding. But what it didn't go into and what people are missing is the follow through, so to speak. I'm even in the movie saying when you have an idea, you have to take action. I even say it's your job. And a lot of people watch the movie and say, "Hey, I saw you in it, Joe," but they fogged out when I got to that part. Because a lot of people want magical thinking. They want to sit there, visualize the romance, visualize the car, visualize the house, visualize the bike, the motorcycle, whatever, and have the doorbell ring. And they open it up and there's the love of their life. I don't dismiss that. I do believe in magic and miracles. My shirt says, "Expect miracles." So my mindset is there, but I'm enough of a take action, entrepreneurial, prolific, productive guy to say, you have to co-create what you want. Visualizing it, intending it, thinking about it is only step one. That's the law of attraction. What do you want? Answer the question. But after that, you have to actually do something. And the example I often give, you mentioned in the introduction, I've written over 80 some books. If I had only sat and visualized being an author and imagined being an author and felt being an author, but never went to the typewriter in the old days or the computer these days, you would not know me as an author. At some point, I had to get off my butt and put it in a chair, turn on the electric typewriter back in the old days, and start pounding the keys. So learning that your mind creates, that's powerful. But you also learn that your body has to have the follow through, and you have to take action to co-create what you want to manifest.
Yeah, that's really well said. It really needs both. And again, I would say probably, Joe, 90-some% of the world is walking around not even believing that your thoughts can manifest things. I mean, just because everything we're taught from kids. I went to school at MIT, got an engineering degree. Trust me, there was no class that said, if you think this will happen. The whole basis of that institution is the opposite of that, right? Everything is down to physics and particles that are all predetermined. And so a lot of us grew up in this world where, yeah, we kind of default to that victim status or default to everything's not in our control when the thought makes it actually in our control. But then, like you said, then it takes the action, which is the stuff that makes us uncomfortable, that makes us quote unquote fail, whatever that means. And maybe that's why people fog over. Maybe that's the subconscious saying, yeah, it's a great dream, but I'm just gonna maybe just sit back a little bit.
Yeah, and hope that it shows up. And again, it might, but you have to really do the inner work to make things happen. You really have to get rid of the invisible blocks, right down to believing that anything is possible. If you don't believe that your thoughts create, you already have fueled a thought of limitation. You've actually proven the concept. Your thought created a limitation. But if you don't go past that to realize that you can create your own reality by thinking differently, most of us are married to our thoughts. When we have a thought, we think that's us. A great breakthrough, and this is going to be an awakening right here if people have never heard it before, is the understanding that you are not your thoughts. You have thoughts. It seems to be part of the organic human experience that they just bubble up into consciousness. But most of us, until we wake up, feel we are our thoughts. And so when the thoughts are depressing, we feel depressed. If the thoughts are downers, we feel down. If the thoughts are discouraging, we feel discouraged. We don't realize that, wait a minute, we're separate from the thought. We can choose to listen to it, or we can select a different thought or wait for another thought and then go in a new direction, which will make taking that action a little easier. There's so many levels to this. I don't even know where to begin to start to help people.
I'm looking for partners, collaborators, colleagues who want to join forces with me around the globe and create real value, generational wealth, and financial freedom for everyone else around the world. Get involved in the cryptocurrency markets, get involved in the NFT markets. This is your moment. Life all comes down to a few moments. Don't let this pass. Now it's not too late. Next year's going to be too late. Ultimately, this is about freedom. That's the way I see it. This is about giving power back to the people and enabling billions of people worldwide to use the financial markets to improve their lives and those of their friends and their families and their communities. Honestly, I think it's a violation of human rights not to allow people basic access to financial services. Because right now people are being kept in the dark, they're being robbed of education, and it's a travesty. And so I'm looking for people that want to join me and be a part of this solution. And that all happens inside the DeFi Academy. The gains my students are making are absolutely amazing. Double, triple digit gains in the first month alone. That's amazing. This will change your life. Now is the time to get involved. I'm gonna tell you exactly how my students in my academy made money in the last 30 days. I'm talking about real trading results. And let me just whet your appetite a little bit. Let me hit you with some numbers. I'm talking Brendan from New Zealand is up 68.77% on the month. Steve from Europe up 83%. Albert in Singapore up 169.9% on one single trade. I got Susan up 153% on her call options alone, also rocking 139% returns and 442% returns as well on individual trades. These are people that are changing their financial future in the last 30 days, but it's based on trading discipline.
I've graduated over 500 students from inside my academy from over 54 countries around the world. It's amazing. When it comes to crypto, DeFi, and blockchain, we love this space. We truly believe it's the future. This is down to our core. It's authentic to what we're doing, and everybody can tell through the camera because you can't make this stuff up.
If you're watching me now, wherever you are, I implore you, take 60 seconds right now and join my academy. Apply today. Now you've got a chance. Life all comes down to a few moments. What are you gonna do? What's the choice that you're going to make?